Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the Professor, Greg Dooley, and the Pundit, Steve Clark. Men, take the mic.
We're still basking in the afterglow of Dusty May and the Michigan Hoopsters' dominating run, and we're not done talking about it. It's the Professor and the Pundit with Greg Dooley and Steve Clark, and we're proudly presented by Nick Hopwood, who's a certified financial planner, founder and president of Peak Wealth Management. Retire with peak confidence. You'll hear from Nick later on in this podcast. For now, after it's over, you can visit Nick's website at peakwm.com.
We haven't updated the Prof and Pun logo yet, Steve, with another national championship trophy, at least yet. But we're celebrating, and so are you and millions of Michigan faithful out there. And while there weren't millions at the celebration at Crisler, maybe many hundreds. On Saturday, I was there, but I missed the parade. Steve just asked me, how was the parade? I missed it, man. I'm getting confused, dude. All these parades, man, left and right, all of these trophies and championships.
More complex. I mean, it's not just, it might not be just such a simple,
It's confusing. It's confusing, man. But the Crisler event was definitely lower key than the football event, but there were some highlights. You want to hear some of them from my perspective?
I do.
I think the big thing was Warde announcing that he's signed Dusty. He didn't give specifics.
That's your headline.
He didn't say a lifetime, but he said a long time. And
did Dusty nod and say, yes, that's true, or was that Warde stealing the spotlight for something that didn't happen?
Well, we'll get to Warde in a little bit, which it might have been in his best interest to do something like that. But Dusty did acknowledge that this is the place he wants to be. And let's just hope he's here for a long time, man, and raise more banners. And I say more because you probably know that we raised the national championship banner already, alongside a Final Four banner and a Big Ten championship regular season banner. They put them all together, and they kind of put them near the baseline, or at least just off the court, not on the perimeter of Crisler. Now, they may move. And gosh, they really cranked out banners quickly, man. I was surprised they had it. Like, honestly, as someone my age, I was like, boy, they must have banner people on call, and because this isn't a trivial garment, man. This is a big ass banner.
I would like to know if it's like the T-shirts on championship night. There's tons in boxes for both teams. What they don't tell you is that the losing box is burned.
Right. Or
like in a crematorium.
Sent to Somalia, are there banners everywhere,
Well, makes you wonder, were the banners pre-ordered?
Yeah.
And it was already there.
I don't know, but it sure was ready, and it's up there. So will it move to the back? Because it's kind of in front. A good distance in front, but in front of the 1989 banner. So it's not
just for show
at present sitting there. So we'll see.
I'm guessing just for show.
Yeah, probably.
You're not going to raise three banners and kind of put one in the corner next to the others, the Final Four, and off to the sideline next to the other championships, and then move the other one next to 89. No, they're going to put them all front and center for now, for show. And then come November, when we see the first home game, you'll see their respective spots.
That's why you're the pundit, breaking down banner placement in arenas.
Get a life, will you, people?
Yeah, get a life. Speaking of getting a life, we had to suffer through a bunch of politicians, and some of them were really good. I give them credit.
No.
But there's a never-ending kind of string of politicians who provide honorary statements and framed one-page, acknowledgments. Sure, having one from the U.S. Congress, Debbie Dingell, absolutely kind of cool. But
she's popular with the University of Michigan students, so they probably didn't mind.
Less exciting. Hear ye. The city of Ann Arbor has declared this day. Okay. So we heard from Mayor Bike Lane, as I call him.
What took them faster to make, the championship banner or the golden key to the city?
Oh, yeah, the golden key. It's actually chocolate when you bite into it. Yeah, so Mayor Bike Lane got up there and definitely spoke too long. You can tell that the prof is not a big fan of Mayor Bike Lane. But anyway, we had to hear through that slog of politicians before you got to the players, and then, of course, Dusty May. A couple highlights. You really couldn't hear what Merez Johnson, Big Rez as I call him, even said. because the crowd broke into a chant of 1 more year, and the players got into it, and that was kind of fun. Somebody asked me on Instagram if we did the same for Ade Mara, and I said yes, but it was en español, of course, for Ade. We said it in Spanish. Actually, we did not. Rez got the 1 more year. It was fun to see.
Shall we hear it?
Yeah.
What are you saying?
I don't know.
Nobody knows. Do we have to give a courtesy credit for the audio?
Yes, to the professor,
okay.
Greg Dooley. How's that?
Courtesy of the professor.
Yes, there you go. Yeah, I was there in the primo seats. Regent Acker. This is interesting. You know, if you follow what's happening behind the scenes, you probably have heard that Regent Acker might not be the biggest fan of our athletic director, Warde Manuel. Well, Regent Acker, who's a friend, okay.
Did you say actor?
Acker. He said, Jordan Acker, he said, he gave a story about Dusty May's hiring and how it went down and how, you know, he was on the phone. And when Warde got up there, he kind of said something like, well, here's the real story. Like, it was a shot. It was definitely, it was no, like, there were no, like, evil looks or anything like that. It was very, like, but those, if you know, you know, it was a little bit of a shot. Mm-hmm. It was a little bit of a shot, a nice counterpunch from Warde, who's probably in the business of counterpunching right now. We'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
So our trolls,
of course,
Spartan fans,
of course,
that's been other fans.
That's been fun.
Yeah, it has been fun.
It's been fun watching Michigan State trolls eat it.
In this case, yeah, especially as I believe it was Scott Bell, the mayor of Michigan Twitter, I believe, as Sam Webb has framed him, says, don't they know this just makes it better? Like, you grasping for Dusty May, using the rules to build a great team and build a cohesive team and win. And you telling us our celebration size was small, like you realize you're talking about our championship celebration, right? And you don't think our fans supported it well. Yeah, we're celebrating a title. That's the best you got. That's the best you got.
Sort of Tom Izzo. They played pretty good, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
But there was actually Michigan State fans that dedicated hours of sort of live streaming their own play-by-play of the Michigan-UConn game. And I don't know if they decided to start this in the second half or whether they started from the very beginning, all in the hopes that their UConn call of winning the championship would make themselves go viral for wearing a Michigan State jacket while broadcasting. And instead, we get to see clips of them just fed up, and disappointed and upset, as much as a UConn fan was Monday night.
There's not much more little bro than broadcasting your rival's game in the hopes they'll lose and then fall in your face.
I think Michigan State fans were more disappointed than UConn fans. I mean, UConn had won 2 championships in 23 and 24. It was like, oh, well, when they left, it says, we put a good effort. Good for us. We have next year. But Michigan State fans, they were really sore.
I did get one nice job, man text like the day after from a rival fan. One.
Really?
Yeah, I'm still waiting some acknowledgement about the football national championship from anyone outside of the Michigan family.
They're trying to be polite.
The next one will be the first one. So let's talk about it, though, a little bit, because it has a lot to do with NIL and everything else. This was a Champion Circle event. You probably know it was a fundraiser, right? You could buy seats in the lower bowl for $75. The upper, section, the old maze section was $60. $500 on the floor, and people did buy the seat. And I talked to one guy, and he said, look, I didn't go to Indianapolis. I saw the ticket prices. I wanted to experience this, and I'm here on the floor. I chalked up the five. I wanted to be as close to this as I can. You got to really be up close, and you could touch the trophies like they were right there. And so for some people, it was a cool experience. The students paid $20. They charged the students for this. So it does raise some questions, though, here about should we have done this a little differently? And I think I probably would have changed some things.
So, do you think the season ticket holder should have gotten in for free?
I do. I think the season ticket holders should have gotten in for free. I think the students should have registered Like, so the Champion Circle gets your registration, and they know who you are, and you went to the event. Maybe it's $1 or not. I think the students should have got in for free, and maybe make the upper bowl more accessible. $60 is $60 for a lot. It's for not a game. You don't exactly know what you're going to get. It's your last chance to see this team together, which is what the football thing was. That's my memory, right? It was the last time to see these guys. Harbaugh gave that impassioned, poem at the end. It was kind of nice. I think they could have done it a little differently, but these are the times we're in now. The parade. No one's talking about the parade. There were thousands and thousands of people at the parade. And
that was free, right?
I think, yeah.
Mayor Bike Lane. They didn't charge for that one?
Yeah, but stay out of the bike lanes and the bus lanes that he put in. Stay out of those.
The fans couldn't stay in the bike lanes.
They could not.
The parade?
0 bikes came by, as usual. But stay out of those bike lanes. Yes. So I think a lot of people got their fill to see the team, to see them celebrate, to get their pictures, get their videos, all that stuff in the parade. So look, hey, what are we doing? We're dicing and slicing a championship day to celebrate a national championship.
I'm not going to mock it.
Yeah, no.
There's two schools of thought on this. These are the same fans that you were charging that invested in the 8-24 season just a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
would have been a nice reward. On the other hand, okay, we have talked about and heard about the number of times that Michigan has came through on money, NIL money for that type of athlete. Side note, Brett Bielema over the weekend at the same time Michigan was celebrating at their paid event at the Crisler Center. Brett Bielema was having a press conference with the Illinois football fandom, and he's not happy about the circumstances about his fundraising or that a 4-star recruit that they kind of had in the fold since July has now decommitted and is considering Michigan and Notre Dame.
Wow.
So, and of course, Brett's not happy because money's probably got something to do with it. And of course, he started going into speeches which kind of resembled socialism and that everything needs to be fair as long as Illinois is underneath the fold. If Illinois is over the fold, well, then of course everything is fine. But that's Brett Bielema. I know his game.
He should pick up the phone and call one of their most prominent alums, Larry Ellison. Whoops.
Yeah. But
whoops, we got him too.
How does Michigan come up with more money? They charge for things.
Yeah.
And they raise funds. And it's not easy. And I'm sure the people who are doing that at Champion Circle and other places are feeling backlash over it. But also at the same time, should they not get a hand on the back for what they were able to produce for this basketball team? It wasn't in, the top 5 money producers in college, but they did enough to make themselves a player in the game. And, it goes both ways. They should be celebrated too for the things that they were able to raise so that some of the players would be able to commit. And we're now basically in free agency and players are looking at money and there's potential bidding wars. And you turn the corner. So where's that Michigan money? Well, Champion Circle's coming up with it, but they're doing it by doing an event like this.
Yeah. And if you see Jared Wangler, it takes all the people they have on their team and they do a wonderful job. You know what you should do is thank them. We don't win 2 national championships without Champion Circle and the way they organized. And it's not perfect because they built it out of thin air on the fly when the Alston ruling came down like everybody else did. And they've learned a lot. But their experiences and even their gear and the things like the cards that they've produced and all the creative stuff, they're really well done. It's a first-class operation. And honestly, the experiences that they offer are really cool for fans. And I think a lot of people are doing it. They're selling cool stuff. They're doing it right. And you got to give them credit. So we're starting to get some action with recruits and things like that. And did you see we landed one of the teams we played and one of the players that maybe we took a good look at?
In the regional final, J.P. Estrella.
Yeah.
Big man on campus, big man in the front court. 6'11", averages 10 points a game, 5.4 rebounds. Tennessee didn't do a whole lot in the regional final against Michigan, but this is, Michigan may be looking for multiple big men, depending on what Ramez Johnson does and Dalmara does as well in terms of the NBA draft. I'm sure they're both going to enter the NBA draft with trying to reach trying to keep up with eligibility, and then they can make a decision by the end of May. We talked about the timeline last week.
Fair to say this is a signal that we expect to at least lose at least one of them, Steve?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. But if you can keep one of them, then they can still look like Big Ten contenders.
Yeah, and remember, this isn't an unlimited budget. Michigan didn't have, let's call it $10 million, didn't have one of the bigger budgets as far as NIL last year. It's probably going to be bigger this year, but they have to make decisions about where the money's going. And keeping Mara and keeping Big Rez is going to be expensive, okay? A good problem, right? But we must have provided a pretty good offer to this guy to come here. So they got to make room, and we got some players coming back, which, Steve, you broke down last time. So exciting stuff. Have you bought anything yet?
No, I haven't had time.
Okay.
I mean, literally since Monday night, I've been going about 14 hours a day, and so maybe that 15th hour I should have bought something, but I think I'm just going to settle, wait. The thing I like to do is I like to buy things that not everybody else has, and I have to do it within a certain budget. That's for me. So that makes me very picky and very selective, and I'm just kind of waiting. Now, I've seen a lot of cool things, and we'll talk about that coming up. But you've already gotten started while the iron is hot.
Yeah, I got it. And I want to say, like you said something really cool, unique stuff. And I got to give props to my guy, Chad Sims. I got to meet him. They do this high-end, like college gear that you don't see out there very much. They do quarter zips, golf shirts, and it's a company called Horn Legend. You've probably seen their stuff at Rally House and other places because they're on the rack.
I saw them at FanFest.
Yes.
They had a whole rack in the middle of FanFest in Indy.
Their stuff, the material and the details at Horn Legend, their quarter zip. So I bought the IU kind of athletic hoodie that they have. And Steve, inlaid inside the hood is the CFP logo. Inside the hood. So it's a red sweatshirt for Indiana.
Explain yourself one more time.
Sure.
Why IU?
Why IU? I'm a graduate. I have a degree from Indiana.
Very
Also,
good.
my son goes there.
Very
so
good.
I'm an investor apparently in their academic side.
Understood.
Yeah.
But I think we have to remind people each week. People are scratching their heads.
Oh, on the IU stuff.
Yes.
Okay, they're harmless. Don't worry about it. Actually, they're not anymore, are they?
No.
They are a beast. In fact, it's a game you circle on the schedule this year. I'm not going to wear my IU stuff at the Michigan game, people. Relax. But the Horn Legend stuff is sweet. It's high end. It's expensive. The sweatshirts and stuff retail for over $150. I recommend it. Check out hornlegend.com. Steve, I'm efforting some gear from my man Chad so you can see it. You can talk about it, touch it, feel it. It's awesome. So I'm working on that. I'm with you, though. I like glassware. And Amazon has cocktail glasses already and my man Nick Hopwood likes this stuff too. They have really cool, like large cocktail glasses already with the championship logo kind of fogged on, which is cool.
What do you think of the logo?
It's all right. Yeah, it's all right. You guys have seen the logo. It's that smashed together kind of,
I kind of like
motif.
it better than the football one.
You
I was
do.
not big on the ring logo for whatever reason, and that just may be me. But I like the look. It wasn't the best work of art I've ever seen in my life, but it worked for me.
Yeah,
the
it works
basketball one.
because it says national champions on it. Yeah, it works great. The Daily's cover said conquered in one word. The Daily cover for 2023 said victors. I'm going to get conquered. I already have the Daily 2023 or 2024 playoff victory with confetti, beautifully done. I'm going to get this one, so I'm kind of going to have a pair of them. I love it. So, I've been busy. You guys know I went to the Rose Bowl, and I've already got to pick up my Rose Bowl trip, frame. So I'm going to pick up my Rose Bowl and drop off the Daily to get framed.
Is the Capital One scarf being hung up?
It is definitely going somewhere. I'm not going to pay to get that framed.
Yeah.
But I might ask someone who does framing work kind of lower end to frame it for me. It's going somewhere. If not, I'm going to hang it on the picture itself like I've hung the streamers from Houston and stuff like this? Yes, I've thought about this a lot. Great question. Best question I've had all week. And I teach at Michigan. This is the best question I've had all week. What are you doing with the scarf? The Final Four Capital One scarf. The semifinal only, as I understand it.
It was not. I was expecting a new one for the championship game. There was not.
Yes, it's the most current state of college athletics thing ever. The scarf sponsored by Capital One. But it's pretty nice. So you kept yours. Yours made it home.
Yes, it's home. I mean, I could even put it up with a thumbtack. I mean, you could put something on the edges and have it go over something else. I mean, you could go next to a football trophy, a different basketball picture, or whatever. It stretches out really long. So if you get a frame for it, it's a pretty long extended frame. But it does have the Final Four logo on it. And that's somewhat important to me. That probably saves me from buying a shirt that just says Final Four.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad I took mine home. I do have a replica CFP trophy. It's really just a pure replica of the trophy. It doesn't say Michigan or anything like that. It's just the trophy. Mm-hmm. Thinking about getting one of the basketball ones about the same size.
Do they have one for sale?
Absolutely.
Okay.
People are 3D printing them in abundance, even with the clear glass that's in the middle. Yes. So they're available. And there's competition, so they're you can get one for a reasonable price.
That's right. And they multiple sizes. You could buy the 3-inch championship trophy, or you can buy the 30-inch championship trophy.
Yes. I'm going to put one on a chain and just put it around my neck. What do you think about that?
Don't you have one of those already?
Yeah, I have a big chain. I've been wearing it more lately, which is funny, which brings us to the next point, Steve.
You get a second one, I'll start calling you the junkyard dog.
Yeah, man. I have worn multiple at a time. I wore all of them, all of the Ohio State pendants at the Brown Jug when we did our podcast there.
Did you get a neck strain?
But it does bring up a next point. Why am I wearing the football charm? I don't know. Suddenly, there's been an unexpected, remarkable amount of fresh air and life pumped into our football national title. Have you felt it, Steve?
This is the best I've seen basketball in quite some time.
No. I think, haven't you seen all the waters have been raised, including our other title? Like I've seen the whole enterprise been raised up by this basketball title. That's my point.
I see.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I've seen compilations on social media where people are either doing Trey's shot or Roddy Gale's immaculate turnover at the end of the game, up against, the final play, either the interception, the Mikey interception in Houston. Like, I just feel better. And honestly, after the Sharon mess, a lot of that stuff kind of stayed in the closet. And it's out now. I don't know. I just feel like it's raised all the boats in Michigan athletics.
2 championship titles in 2.5 years. Yeah, that's a huge thing. And we've talked about this before, but rarely can you be successful in football and basketball at the same time. Ohio State did it 20 years ago, but it was very brief. Florida did it, same time frame, 20 years ago, but it's brief. And when Michigan football wins a championship, they seem to fall off almost immediately afterwards. I'm hopeful that basketball can put on a run now. And that makes me feel kind of want to stick my chest out a little bit more about Dusty May and the sport, because I don't think they're going to self-sabotage themselves into something wrong.
I certainly do not. I've already seen some way too early projections for, and you've got 3 teams, the 3 teams we talked about last time, in the top 5. That's Illinois, Michigan State, and Michigan. Obviously, it depends on who's coming back and what the roster looks like.
And what they do in free agency. I mean, John Blackwell, one of the best guards out of Wisconsin, is got Illinois on his list. Now, imagine if a guy of that caliber joins Illinois with all their young players that are still on it. Keaton Wagler is probably going to the NBA and staying in the NBA. But that would be great backcourt help to put Illinois in a situation where they're going to be very similar, if not better, next year.
No matter what, there's a ton of excitement for Michigan basketball next year, which we haven't felt in a while, and it's going to be super exciting.
It's halftime on The Professor and the Pundit with Greg Dooling and Steve Clark, and joining us in studio right now is our title sponsor, Nick Hopwood from Peak Wealth Management. Now, I don't have kids of age anymore, at least I don't think I do. There's a new thing where a newborn baby can start piling up money for their retirement accounts from their first day that they're born. How does that work?
That's right, Steve. These are the new Trump accounts. So a baby born in 2025 or 26 is eligible for the $1,000 federal gift. So when you're filing your taxes, you file Form 4547, and that sets up the Trump account. If you have older kids beginning after July 4th of 2026, you can open up your own Trump account for the kids, and you can put $5,000 in per year. So here's my pitch. From 0 to 18, $5,000 per year. It's about $90,000 in contributions over the years. If it's growing at 8%, which I think is reasonable over those 18 years, it'll be worth about $200,000. Now, it rolls over into an IRA at that point. Then you take that IRA, convert that $200,000 to Roth, you pay some tax, but remember, it's going to be a reasonable amount of tax because the 18-year-old doesn't make that much. Now you have this $200,000 growing from age 18 to age 65 with no further deposits. At 8%, it's worth over $7 million.
You're kidding me.
No doubt. Now, the present value is more like 2 point something. But look, this is a gift of $90,000, which I know a lot of your listeners can afford over 18 years. And you're making this gift, which is going to be worth millions of dollars for your children in retirement.
You've heard a number of Nick's tips about tax-saving strategies and building your own private wealth. He's just the tip of the iceberg right now. Talk to Nick today, peakwm.com. That is where his website is, and you can reach him, peakwm.com, and you can find a treasure trove of tax-saving strategies that you could use from now and the rest of your life. And one more thing, No Lazy Money is a show with Nick and Jim on WJR every first Wednesday of the month from 7 to 8 p.m.
Speaking of roster, Steve, the spring game is coming up.
Is it?
Yes.
What?
It's Saturday, and we've already heard from Coach Witt that, hey, come on out, but you're probably not going to see the people that you want to see. But come anyway. Come out to the spring game. He said this is a great chance for us to get a good, in-depth, concentrated look at the 2s and 3s, meaning on the depth chart.
That seems to be kind of previewing Michigan's football season. On the heels of Michigan basketball winning a national championship, football attitude right now is come anyway this fall.
Yeah. So he said as many as 18 guys won't play. Mm-hmm. So I don't think you're going to see Bryce Underwood throwing behind the back passes too much out there. Maybe some warm-ups and stuff.
Keep him healthy.
Yeah, but we're not going to see a lot. But at least it does sound like they're going to play, which Harbaugh restarted, which is fun.
It is rare for football to take a back seat to anybody at Michigan. Right now, they kind of feel like they're in a back seat because I don't know if anybody's expecting much better things for the 2026 football season. Hopeful, yes. Realistic, I don't know. Kyle Whittingham, I'm not going to downplay him as a coach. He's a fantastic coach. He's destined for the Hall of Fame. I've just not felt any buzz quite yet. And Witt tried to create that a little bit when asked about certain freshmen. He highlighted 3 freshmen, including Celine's Tommy Carr, saying he is the number 2 quarterback right now, that he has really surprised them coming in. A late invite, a late offer, a late signee. And right now the number 2 the number 2 guy at the quarterback position, still players at the quarterback position coming into the summer. Running back 5-star Savion Hyder. Now that's a guy to get behind and excited about. Fantastic running back, sought after by everybody, including Ohio State. Miffed that they didn't get him. He's going to be a featured back for Michigan, and that is somebody to look forward to. And then we're always waiting for the next receiver to come along. Been a couple of years, but Celesi Moa seems to be the next freshman receiver that could do something well. You put him along with Andrew Marsh, and you could have a good combo there.
Yeah, that'd be great. Love to see some of these guys. We'll see them soon. I did hear the buzz about Tommy Carr. We're excited just with the Carr family here in town. That's going to be amazing. The only thing else he could have said is Tommy Carr and Herb Street are fighting it out.
Yeah,
if you really wanted to create national news, that would have been fun. But we'll see a lot of those guys. Joe, I think our friend Joe Simon we're not having a radio show, Steve.
We are not. We haven't had one in a couple of years.
Yeah, for the spring game. That would have been a blast. But hopefully we'll get together in the same spot. You're going to be over there. You're going to be at the game. You're going to be hanging out beforehand. What are you doing?
I am definitely doing. I just don't know what yet.
Okay.
Of course, we could always do something together, and it will always be a good time. And I can watch people call out your name as you walk by.
Okay. Yes. That would be great. Hey, if you see me in public, you yell Dooley, apparently, says Steve pointed out.
Yes.
Dooley. Okay.
It's amazing. I'm not making fun of it. It's amazing, actually. It really is.
Post game.
Yes.
Speaking of some of the cool events that Champion Circle is doing, there's an opportunity. It's expensive. This is a $1,000 opportunity. But
Get
to
your
go to
501c.
Schembeckler Hall, hang out in Schembeckler Hall with the new GM, Dave Peliquin, after the game. I will be there. It should be interesting. I'm going to check it out. I want to meet this guy. I want to hear what he has to say. I'm sure I'm going to see some familiar faces. Coach Witt's going to stop by.
Drop your business card so he'll speak in your class.
This is a business trip for the professor.
You
man.
write that off?
This is hopefully. This is a business trip, and I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, I'm going to say hi, and I'm curious to see who else is there. But I want to hear his philosophy on this. I might ask a few questions. Not sure how much I can share. I'm hoping he provides some real insight. I am not a big recruiting guy. We don't talk about recruiting a lot on this unless there's a huge thing. He's going to talk a little bit about that, and their approach. So I'm really, really curious to see that. One more thing I'm curious about, Steve. Is there any chance the team is going to wear a sponsor patch on its jersey for the spring game? I think we would have heard by now, but I don't know. It is a possibility right now, and I guarantee you that we will have a sponsor patch on our jersey that will be different from the Big Ten. It will not be a Block M. It might be something as subtle as Michigan Medicine. It might be something unsubtle as a McDonald's logo, Steve. But we are going to have a sponsor patch on the jersey. Get ready for that. So if you want an official jersey, it will have a sponsor patch on it.
For this spring.
No, I'm asking the question.
I see. You're asking the question.
For
I think
the fall, we are certainly having a sponsor patch.
Yes. Okay.
For the spring, I'm asking the question.
Yes.
Are they going to slide something? It doesn't take a lot of work.
No.
Hey, if we can produce a banner half of the size of the basketball court within, hours for the national championship, we could probably, iron on a patch on 60 some odd jerseys for the football team.
Would it be on the field? Could there be something on the field? And would there be more people upset if there was something on the field versus something on the person?
I don't think there'll be something physically directly on the field, but we've actually had things like DTE and other signage in the stadium, which kind of violates that permanent average.
But it's not permanent. It's the spring. It doesn't count.
Yeah. Hopefully there won't be a big Kraft macaroni figure outside, which happened one time.
Oscar Mayer Wiener?
Which went over like a fart in church, Steve. But we'll see. I guarantee you, whatever it is, if it's advertising, people will complain. So get ready for that. But we're trying to get you ready for this fall because it's coming. It's coming hot, and other stuff is coming. And yes, eventually there will be a name on the field. And guess what? You might see in the future someone buy the naming rights to Michigan Stadium because it's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Yep. Get ready for that. And it won't be LaFontaine Chevy. It'll be a big company.
Can you see me clutching my pearls?
Yes. The Procter & Gamble Michigan Stadium or something like that. So get ready.
There's, you know what? It just made me realize that it's one thing to allow the name. It's another thing. It better be a good name.
Okay.
You got to have the right name. If you're going to be sponsored by somebody, you got to be the right name. You can't be the fourth company in line in your field sponsoring the leaders and best.
Okay.
Because therefore they're not really the leaders and best. So whatever you think is fourth in line in anything.
Okay, so Diet Right Cola Stadium isn't going to do it for you.
No.
We should be Coke.
No.
I got you. Okay.
I'm sorry, like Stellantis.
Yeah. No. Not happening.
Frontier Airlines. No.
Frontier Airlines. Yeah.
It's either going to be Delta or United for me, But if it's Frontier, that's a no. What
Yeah.
what else is kind of fourth in line?
If the stewardess hands you a plastic menu
Right.
with like 17 options on it, and you just point and say,
Right.
"I want number 8," which is a
Yeah.
drink and snack package, you're not on a fancy airline.
Right. What's fourth in line? The ACC. we
Yeah.
can't have it brought to you by the ACC.
Arby's.
Yes,
Sorry.
That
There's like
works.
fans who like Arby's.
that works.
Arby's is great. It's fourth in line. Yeah. So let's hope not. Steve, speaking of hoping not, you called it. He
Yeah.
warned you. The pundit warned you. Don't get invested in hockey, people. He told you. He
Sorry.
warned you.
Sorry.
The professor thought this year would be different. I know some of these guys. I know Coach Nar, and he did make some changes to the culture there. Would it translate to getting over the hump of the Frozen Four? And by now, we got a huge kick in the giblets in Vegas, a 2 OT loss to the eventual champion Denver, gave up a late goal in regulation, and despite outshooting the Pioneers wildly,
2-1
for 4 periods.
2-1.
As Nar said it. That's the second period, the third period, and both overtimes. Over 50 shots. Our goalie, Jack Ivankovic, was not the problem. He was great.
Huh?
But Denver's stood on his head, as they
Again.
like to say. He was exceptional again. And once again, Steve, our record in the Frozen Four since we won a championship is just brutal.
This century, I had to look it up because I had things to do during overtime. 1-11. 1-11 this century in the semifinals of the Frozen Four.
Ouch.
Dang.
Brutal.
That's-
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into it much farther than that. But I thought with Michigan having the goalie they had a chance. I stayed up. Game-winning goal occurred at 12:50 in the morning.
yeah.
Some of us had to be up early. I get it. I wanted to see it. I was hoping it was going to be different.
Yeah. But keep in mind, the one we won, we then subsequently lost in the finals. So we
See,
got an
I
extra
told
game.
you I wasn't going to get into that.
TJ Hughes was a Hobie Baker finalist. I
Yep.
didn't expect him to win. Some people did.
Mm.
Coach Dorado gave wonderful, heartfelt speeches after the game about the team. It's tough to take. Drapes is gone. Keenan Draper, who is a Red Wings draftee, is going to play for the Griffins.
Yep.
It came out.
Today.
But some really good news. There's obviously still so much to love about this team, and Dorado was signed to a long-term contract, just like Dusty May. A big surprise, though. One of our stars, a guy named Michael H. He is a Montreal Canadian draftee. He is returning. He is a potential Hobie Baker candidate. I saw it right before we went on the air. Garrett Shifsky, a senior who has one more year of eligibility, is coming back. A bunch of players are coming back. This team is stacked. We're bringing in another CHL top prospect. And we have a great team next year. But all the questions, Steve, it's like Rory McIlroy with the Masters. It's just like before he got over the hump. Everyone's going to be asking about the Frozen Four, and it's going to be on their mind. How are they going to overcome it? Because they're going to have a shot. They're going to make the tournament next year, and they're going to be one of the top seeds. Whether they win the Big Ten, which is highly competitive or not, they're going to have a look at it. What is their mindset going to be? And for fans, I think the guy across from me, across the glass, you're going to have to prove it to him. Show me. Don't talk about it.
It's called a mental block.
Yes. Okay. Steve, there it is. He said it. Steve,
Yeah.
companies need to build AI teams that actually deliver, not resumes, not volume. I'm talking about Maverick, man. They won't make you sort through 8,000 names in what I call the AI transfer portal. I said it. Is there a transfer portal for IT talent? Metaphorically, yeah, of course there is.
Yeah, didn't they leave Apple and went to somewhere else?
They'll align you with the right people. Think of them like a super agent in college sports. They don't share ideas. They bring solutions. People-powered solutions because they've already done the work. That's Maverick. Do you want your roadmap to move faster? Do you want to keep your team focused? Do you want to deliver projects on time and on budget? Do you want to stay up till almost 1 a.m. and watch the Frozen Four knowing that you don't have to worry about what's going on in your company? Of course you do. They make the right hire the first time. MaverickTechnologyPartners.com. They deliver championship quality talent. That's MaverickTechnologyPartners.com. Catch them on LinkedIn. It's fun, Steve. They're playing our clips. They share them with their thousands of customers and all the people that follow them, and they're helping promote the Professor and the Pundit. Do us a favor. Give them a look. You have a company. You need IT talent. Go check out Maverick at MaverickTechnologyPartners.com.
I have total confidence in them.
All right, man. Steve, I got a couple speaking engagements up. I will be at the SOAR Lifelong Learning Institute in Livonia, Michigan. If you know, you know. These are people of an advanced age, Steve, and they want to hear from the professor. That's on April 28th, 2026. I think that's a private event. The Lansing Town Hall Series. This is kind of a big gig for me, people.
When will they pay the players?
Yeah, well, exactly. This is up in Lansing, Michigan. Yes, in enemy territory at the beautiful Eagle Eye Resort and Conference Center. That's an awesome golf course, if you know. On May 11th, 2026, that's the Lansing Town Hall speaker. I think there's going to be like 400 people there, Steve. It's going to be a big audience. If you need a speaker, I'm easy to find. mvictors.com/speaking if you want to connect with me or learn more. And the other thing, Steve, I am so pumped about the History of Michigan Football Volume 1, a 12-lecture online course, hundreds of photos and images. It feels more like a Ken Burns documentary. I know you haven't seen it yet, but you will. From the earliest days of the football program through the formation to fielding Yost up to the stadium build. That's Volume 1, 12 lectures, readings, quizzes, guest star historians from John Crick of Natural Enemies and Steg versus Yost to Seth Fisher, who was a guest on the Professor and the Pundit of M. Go Block. Even Dave Revson of the Big Ten Network is in on this, and it kicks butt, Steve. And that's coming out, and you'll be sure on my social media and everywhere else, you'll hear about it. And I'm working on a partnership with the Alumni Association, if you're a member, to get you a discount. But look for more on that soon. If you want more right now, mvictors.com/history.
The Professor and the Entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Greg Dooley.
My side hustles, I guess. It's kind of, ingrained with what I do. But, I do this for food. So it'll be fun. I'm really excited. If you think I'm getting Dooley's.
If he does this for food,
Hey,
he's
Steve.
getting the caviar.
Hey, Steve. If you think I was getting Dooley's at the Final Four, wait till this history course comes out. I'm going to get a few more Dooley's.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah.
It's sweet. It's really good. All right. I mentioned Ward punching back. And what are we talking about? Well, that investigation into the program, the research they're doing, they brought back the firm that didn't find anything before. And what I hear, this is a hunch, is that their report is done, but they're waiting for the new president to act on it or react to it or in his official capacity, because the new president will be Ward's supervisor. And it kind of makes sense because it is around the corner. It's not next calendar year. It's actually in May 11th, I believe. He's expected to start and take over. And so all eyes are going to be, people are already talking about it, what will happen to Warde Manuel. Now, he's got a lot of things on his side, and you've seen, if you follow social media, Desmond Howard suddenly came out and said, this is why we got to keep Warde Manuel. So there is a circle of people that are coming to his defense here, and there's a lot of reasons to. And you've got incredible success. If you measure an athletic department by winning, business is booming, Steve.
Amazing to see what winning does.
Isn't it?
Changes everybody's attitude.
It does.
If you're winning, it sometimes doesn't matter how you got there.
And it might be the reason he keeps his job. I don't know. But I think despite that, there's still a question out there.
There might be a question out there, but 2 national championships in 2.5 years with your two premier sports.
Yeah.
And a Frozen Four.
Yes.
With your third primary sport.
Yes. And to his credit, he backed Harbaugh when a lot of people didn't want it and helped get that championship. He found Juwan Howard, but he quickly pivoted, to his credit, and found this man. And Coach Dorado looks like a great coach, as you pointed out, Kim Barnes-Rico.
And
it's working.
And the sanctions for Michigan football and the turning over the championship and all that
That didn't happen.
That didn't happen.
So give them credit where credit's due. You're spot on. However, it's a report. It's a firm. They're probably going to make recommendations this time. And my guess is there's not going to be like a smoking gun to Warde, but there will be a question of lack of control, and the buck stops at the top. Whether that's enough for a slap on the wrist or a recommendation to how to restructure the athletic department under his purview, I don't know. But also throw in a new president. He's a new guy.
Yeah.
Will he want his guy or his woman
It
in
always
place?
seems to be the case.
Yes.
Doesn't it?
Yes. So that is probably not in Warde's favor, that we do have a new president. If Santa Ona were still here, it'd be a different story. So
did Warde make his way over to the UConn sideline at any point? I mean, that was his former
yeah,
school
it was.
before
We didn't
Michigan.
hear a lot about that. We heard about other people from UConn, but we didn't hear about that. So what is the trend? What if we get a new athletic director? There is a trend toward a business-driven. And Warde is an old school athletic director who's done really well in new school, right? But old school athletic directors, they hired and fired coaches, supported athletes, handled scheduling, the needs of fans and ticket holders and grumpy boomer fans, right? And protected their interests. We're not going to play games on Friday, right? That's old, we're not going to do that. New school is driving revenue and optimizing expenses. That's new school. In fact, the University of South Florida, in September of last year, they hired a new man to run the athletic department, Steve. His title is not athletic director. It is CEO of athletics.
Yeah.
And they explain why, and I don't have to tell you why, but that says a lot. And I have a feeling if we do make a change, it'll be somebody more like that.
Dave Brandon could make a comeback.
Well, it's funny you say that. And as brutal as the final days, thanks to John U. Bacon's absolute takedown of Dave Brandon in his book,
Just reporting the facts.
Cringeworthy, blow after blow to Brandon. It does feel like, and some people are listening are about to hurl, that Dave Brandon was the right guy at the wrong time. And he might have been the right guy now. And he was thinking like a lot of these guys were thinking. And he did get spit up and chewed out. And yes, he did some of that to himself. But just maybe he was the right guy at the wrong time. That's all I'm saying. Okay, just maybe.
I need to share something.
My tires are probably slashed where we're parked right now here at one of Dave's old companies. But
Wisconsin's athletic director is leaving.
Where's he
Chris
going?
McIntosh is going to work for Tony Batiti in a newly created role at the Big Ten office.
Okay, I thought he had the support of their biggest donor. What happened?
Well, it's a little bit. There's a little bit of bittersweet things going on in Madison right now. But Chris McIntosh is leaving Wisconsin, so people are shuffling. I wouldn't say it's a game of musical chairs, but people are doing the high step.
Oh boy. All right, Steve, do we have time to talk about the Masters? I know this is not a golf podcast.
No, it's fine.
But I feel like we always end up talking about the Masters a little bit because we love it.
We love it. My wife makes fun of it, just like the same way that we make fun of the Hallmark Channel. This is our version of the Hallmark Channel.
It is. But CBS missed a bunch of shots, Steve. Unlike them, they missed a bunch of footage of key moments in the tournament, which they are getting beat up a lot today. About the last four shots, including the winner, Rory McIlroy's shot back toward the hole because he hit a brutal drive way off of past the trees and had to hit a bender around. Nobody knew where his ball went until they found it in the sand trap.
I just figured looking at it, well, it's not in the fairway.
Yeah,
it's not,
it wasn't on the green.
Not on the green and not in the gallery because nobody had parted like the Red Sea. It had to be in the trap.
Yeah.
And you know what? Some of the mystery of it was kind of fun for me.
Yeah.
Because you didn't know. I wasn't sitting there. There's a lot of people lambasting CBS right now.
Yes.
And I didn't feel that way. I never felt, well, that's just absolutely awful and they need to be called out. I thought was kind of a mystery that made it kind of fun.
Okay, I did. Yes, it probably made it feel like all of us. Where's my ball? I don't know where it is. Is that my ball? I was half hoping the ball that Rory walked up to, he would look at it and go, that's not my ball. It's the other guy's. Because no one knew where either's ball was. It was a mess. Well, Chinese golfer Hao Tung Lee, by the way, who self-describes himself as the handsomest man in China.
Really?
Yes.
Did not know that.
Nance announced, kind of casually like Nance does, that he putted a ball off the green into the water earlier. Like, what? So like a guy putted the ball off the green into the water at the Masters, and we don't get to see it.
If it was on 12, I can believe it.
Yeah, and they didn't show. Yeah, they didn't show. He took a quint bogey 10 on a par 5 where he ended up in the woods, where you can kind of see his head, like he's back there using the bathroom in the woods. You can just see his head back there. They didn't show any of that, but hats off to Rory, Steve. He got a big reception.
This is my big takeaway from the Masters is, we're a patriotic country. I mean, whether you're a Republican or whether you're a Democrat, you feel patriotic about your country, the direction, where it's going, your feelings about the past, and you're rooting always for an American. With the exception of Rory McIlroy. Yeah. And I think there's a lot of things that people have seen in Rory. He paid his dues. He had some heartbreaks that we could all kind of relate to, and yet he never really been a jerk. But I think here's a key thing. He stuck up for the PGA when Live Golf came around, and PGA heroes were, leaving like flies around. Not the great metaphor, but they were scattering.
Yeah.
Scattering for the money. And Rory McIlroy spoke up for the PGA and then eventually felt like an idiot because secretly behind the scenes, the PGA and Liv were working on getting back together. And nobody told Rory about it.
Yes.
And so I think America loves Rory, who's from Ireland. And I mean, what American doesn't like Ireland either, for whatever?
Yeah,
for whatever matter.
I think that's part of it, is that we do feel a kinship with Ireland a little bit.
More so than England right now.
But it's probably more Rory's personality, because some of the biggest stars on the U.S. are some of the villains. Bryson DeChambeau is super popular, but a lot of people don't like him. Pretty much everybody hates Patrick Reed, okay, who's an American. Captain America, they called him in the Ryder Cup. Even Scotty Scheffler, who is the poster child for a lot of people for the red-blooded church-going American. He snapped at reporters a couple times on Saturday, and it was interesting to watch. And Brando Chambly on the postgame on Golf Channel took it to him a little bit, that you can't treat people like that. And golf's a funny game, but we love it.
Cam Young said, when asked how he's going to prepare for Sunday, says, I got to get my family to Mass somehow, and I don't know where to go.
There you go.
Actually said that in a Saturday.
That guy has game, and it's just too much. I did see a few, forget about the CBS coverage, let's call it a one-off, There were a few instances of fans yelling when players were shooting, which is really out of character and not allowed at the Masters.
Well, but you know what? That really started in full force at the Ryder Cup, where the ugly American fan was not something to be proud of during the Ryder Cup.
Oh yeah, I'm guilty of that at Brookline. Okay, I'm one of those guys. But it doesn't happen at the Masters, Steve. And those people are never coming back. And there are some other people who are getting a private scolding, including one of the European golfers who flipped off, a hole. He gave the bird to one of the holes. And then Sergio Garcia, who many of our listeners know, he's won a green jacket on one of the holes. He hit a bad shot, pounded it twice into the turf in the tee box, and then took it to the water cooler and broke his driver. On top of that, he was prickly with the media afterwards, who was asking him about it and other things. He was really short. Not a fan of Sergio Garcia, but congratulations to Rory, and you got to give him credit, like you said. And by the way, Rory does a wonderful job in the press. He's the model. He answers questions truly thoughtfully. He opens up his heart a little bit, and it's great to watch.
But how different it is, 32 years ago, I was reminded that Gary McCord was basically kicked off the CBS coverage for referring to a green as getting a bikini wax.
Absolutely.
And
You're
Tom
gone.
Watson led the charge about getting him ousted. And how much has changed in 32 years
Yes.
about behavior on both sides of the ropes.
Yep, absolutely. So another Masters is in the books. It was a really wild Saturday and Sunday. Not the highest quality golf, but some incredible moments, but it was fun. But again, Steve, we leave you. And you're feeling good. We know you are. That's why you listened all the way to the end, because you don't want this vibe to continue. And we will continue. We will be back next week with our thoughts from the spring game. I'll share what I can from my visit to Schembecker Hall with our new GM. And I'm looking forward to it.
I want to talk about the state of the game with one person in particular that is trying to change everything. And he started off as a guy who was just trying to raise some money for his football team and is now one of the key principal figures in all of this. You've talked about him in your class, I'm absolutely sure. We'll preview that next week. But for right now, as we say at the end, we get to change our lines again. Until next time, we will be back, and the Michigan basketball team are your national champions. Go Blue, Greg.
That sounds so sweet. Go Blue.